Well, that was another disaster.
First things first, if you want to complete missions for the UDA, you'll need to craft a short-range radio. Plenty of folks need help, and factions pay well for prospectors that offer their time. Up to you. Stay safe.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is FlashStep, and today we're starting a brand new series in a game called Icarus. Now, this game was actually released quite a few years ago, and I did hop on a couple years ago to play, but it was a little bit buggy. I got through a couple of levels, and then I decided to leave it for its official launch. Now, it did launch a while back, and it's been getting updated for years now, and I'm finally here to give it a try. It's an interesting game. There's a lot of mechanics that I'm not quite used to, and it's quite in-depth as a survival game. Now, there are 3 maps. We're going to be starting on Olympus. This is going to be our journey on Olympus. And from there, we'll move on to Styx and then finally Prometheus. But this is episode 1, so let's get started. And we immediately have a wolf in front of us. This looks like a fantastic start to the game. I'm just going to grab some materials here, move away from the wolf, and try and grab as much as we can. Typical survival stuff: sticks, stones, fiber, some pumpkins. And we're gonna start off with the basics here. Let's get ourselves a stone pickaxe. And we don't have enough for a stone axe, of course. Alright. The mining in this game is really cool. I love the way that the rocks sort of chip away like that. You can almost burrow into them. We're just gonna grab some stone here and get our axe crafted as well. So our goal in this series is quite simple. We're going to survive, we're gonna build some cool bases, and we're gonna try and understand what the story of the game is about and conquer Olympus. Now over here we have something called oxide. We're actually on an alien planet, and I believe Olympus is one of the moons, and we've been sent out on an expedition. Basically, we gather rare materials, we hunt rare creatures, and we get paid for it. But because of that, we're obviously in a spacesuit, and oxide here is a mineral that releases oxygen. So we sort of use that to breathe, and this is one of the mechanics that I'm really not used to in a survival game. It's very interesting. It adds another layer. Think of it like food and water in the way that it depletes, but now we have a third thing to manage. I'm going to grab as much of this stuff as I can because I know that it's actually quite important. And we got to level 1. Here we go. And as you can see in the inventory here, this is our character, Flash. And we can wear armor on top of the spacesuit, but more importantly, we have a slot here for oxygen. We're just going to dump that oxide right in there, and you'll see that the percentage of oxygen that we have slowly starts to rise. Let's grab the rest of this. Now, it is a very dangerous game in general. You're attacked quite a lot. There's a lot of mechanics around bodies that are left on the ground, and bones and carcasses, and attracting carnivores that will attack your area if too many bodies are around. So that's really cool. We got to clean up after ourselves, not just for the resources, but also to avoid getting swamped by a pack of wolves. And over here we have what I believe is called a Tyrannus. Yep, we have a level 8 and a level 23. And they're actually horses that are kind of aggressive. So I am going to keep my distance from them until I have a weapon. And speaking of weapons, we got to level 1, so let's take a look at the tech tree. Now, we only have 4 points to spend at the moment, and I think that we're going to do the very basic things. A stone knife to protect ourselves and to skin animals. A campfire so we can cook food. A bedroll is also probably really important here. Maybe not right now. Maybe you can wait till level 2 for the bedroll. But the basic water purifiers, because I know that you can't just drink the water that is around in the planet. You actually have to purify the water, otherwise you get dysentery. And that leaves us with 1 point, and I would love a wooden bow. We're going to have to actually level up again before we can grab the bow and the arrows. Once we do that, I think we can actually start hunting. Let's just grab as much of the stuff as we can while we can. Now, if I take a look at the map, here's what I'm thinking. Obviously, not a lot of the map is explored at the moment. But I am thinking of going down here to water. That's going to be really important. And I'm thinking of actually building a base on the island here with bridges that head out in each of the directions that we would need to head out in. That'll be a project for probably a couple of episodes down the line. But if we start heading in that direction, we could probably set up a base camp there and get to work cooking some food and building a very, very rudimentary base to call home. And there we go. We've just pinned that location on the map. And if we look up at our compass right now, we can see we were heading in the completely wrong direction. So, let's head that way. I just found the silica ore, so I'm going to grab some of that too. I'm not actually sure what it's used for, but this is a survival game. You can never go wrong with mining some extra materials. It'll definitely come in handy at some point. We're starting to see some wildlife show up around us, and I'm really hoping I don't run into any wolves or worse on my way here. All right, and here we are. We seem to be coming up to the water right now, and I'm sure we can find a nice place by the banks of the lake. Are they called banks? I think they're called banks. And set up camp here. Yeah, I think this works perfectly for now. Now, I would jump across to the other side and start setting up camp over there. But I don't really want the hassle of swimming across to my base every time I want to go into the mainland to hunt, gather resources. So for now, until we have the capability to build bridges, we're going to be setting up camp here. So let me just clear the area, and then we can get started. Let me craft a knife very quickly, just in case we need to get into a fight. And I will also craft the campfire right now. We'll put some wood in there, and we'll start roasting pumpkins for food. Put that on my hotbar, set it up right here. Add sticks. Yes, let's add the sticks to burn as fuel. That is not very efficient. I take that right back. I'll put the pumpkins in here, and we will grab some wood. Cutting up the wood is really cool in this game, actually. You see the wood, the tree falls to the ground, and you have to chop it up, turn it into planks, and then pick it up. I believe there is a perk a little later that will allow you to harvest it immediately without cutting it into planks. But for now, this is what we gotta do. Back at our campfire, we're gonna add the wood to the fire to get it cooked, to get it started. We're gonna consume this because it's about to go bad. Maybe add the carrots. eat the entire stack of berries, which has helped my food and my water a little bit. And while this is all cooking, we'll continue clearing out the area. And we got level 2. Alright, I think we have to get the bow, stone arrows, and that leaves us with 2 points. And I think for now, I will leave these 2 points as is, so that we can go straight to wood base building set. And dirt foundation. Those two are going to be very important. I know there's a thatch building base set here as well, but this game has a very interesting mechanic when it comes to its weather. If you look up to the right of my screen here, you'll see that we have a 3-day forecast. And while everything looks nice and green and sunny at the moment, we're coming up to 3 days, from what it looks like, of continuous storms. And what the storms do is they will actually damage your base. And thatch doesn't last long at all. It'll still damage the wood, but it'll be a lot easier for us to manage, maintain, and repair the wood, which has a lot more durability than the thatch. Unless, of course, that is a lightning storm, and lightning hits our base and burns it to the ground. There goes everything we built. Now, as I'm mining here, I actually made a hole in this big boulder, just in case we do get hit by the storm and we haven't cleared out and made a base in time. I can hide in there from the effects of the storm, because not only does it hurt your structures and your buildings, but the storm also has a negative effect on you. You get weather exposure or storm exposure, and that's not great. And here we go. We have an incoming storm. So I'm going to keep mining here just to show you what the storm actually does and its effects. And also to take a look, because I can't really remember how bad it is. So we're about to find out together. And in the meantime, we have our little hidey cubby over there, which should be shelter for us in case things go really bad. I love the level of detail they put into this game. Look at how the trees sway in the storms. And apparently, a really big storm can also make the trees fall over. Which means we probably don't want any trees around our base either, because if they fall on our base, I'm willing to bet they can break our structures too. So here we go. Here's some storm exposure. I don't really see it doing anything in particular at the moment, but we shall see. Okay, the storm seems to be picking up a little more right now. I'm getting slightly nervous. We have our hidey hole. My storm exposure is up to about 25%, and we have a debuff. What is this? The windstorm is increasing your oxygen consumption. Well, let's put more oxygen. Significantly reduces your mobility, increases your stamina uses, and damages you. I don't see any damage at the moment, but I'm guessing if we get to full exposure, we'll take health damage. Well, now we know what it is. Let me get into my hidey hole here. Maybe make it a little wider and wait this out. Do we have shelter here? We do not. I thought this was supposed to work. I look sheltered right now. Yes, we are. And there you go. We're hiding in a little stone or in a big boulder, weathering out the storm. All right, so that I don't die, I'll see you guys on the other side once the storm blows away. All right, I had to bring you guys back here because we've just hit the red patch of the storm. which is, I think, its worst part, and I want to see what this actually looks like. How bad is this storm? Are we going to get to see a tree fall over? And there we go. There goes one tree. I think that's enough for me. I'm going to head back into my hidey hole and let this blow over. And with that, the storm is over. And unfortunately, we are already low on water. So let's come down here. Now this, we can drink it. It will sustain us, but it might make us sick. Let's hope it doesn't. All right, and I'm back in the tech tree for this exact reason. I'm extremely heavy, so I'm going to make a small wooden crate so that I can store all of these materials while we continue to clear out the area for our Bob Shack. Now, I can actually craft here stone piles, so I'm going to craft 2 of these, and I believe I can place them on the ground, and that will get rid of a lot of the weight that's in my inventory already. So let's place these on the hotbar. Let's put them down here, and we can stack them right on top of each other like this. Perfect. While we're at it, let's try and craft a bow. And craft as many arrows as we can. Here's 54 arrows. We're going to be hunting a lot today. Okay, let's grab some wood. And that's what I think I need to focus on, other than clearing out this area, is actually gathering fiber, wood, and sticks. Because if I'm not mistaken, those are the ingredients you need to make wooden structures. I can't tell from here. So I think we buy them for now. Yeah, let's buy the wooden structure set. Go into crafting. And it takes wood and fiber. And I have no wood. So, time to go chopping some trees. One did fall here, didn't it? Yep. Timber! And we're back. And while we were gathering some wood, unfortunately, we got a little sick. We got dysentery. And that gives you minus 50% nutrition from food and minus 25% food effects duration. That's a rough one. Especially since our berries give a plus 50 to maximum stamina. I think I'm just going to stash my wooden blocks here. This is just a really nice way of storing the really heavy materials so that you can continue to craft without building a box. Although we probably should build a box. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. I think it's time to go out for our first hunt. Before we do that, let's take a look at the tech tree. Dirt foundations. What do we need for dirt foundations? Dirt. And I believe we get dirt using a shovel. And that is right here. So let's grab the shovel. Let's grab the wooden hammer, because if we're going to start base building, then we're going to need to be able to repair it when a storm hits. And then let's do the dirt foundation. Alright, and it's starting to turn to night. So maybe hunting is not the best idea right now. I think what I'll do is keep working on my base. And then when it's morning, we can go for our first hunt. Let me craft our wooden shovel here. Yeah, we can leave that in slot 4. And we're going to start grabbing some dirt. And I think we can just do that from anywhere. Perfect. All right, now let's craft all 4 of these, and let's take a look and see what these actually look like. Okay, these will be a good foundation for our base. I think what I'll do is I'll place it right here. 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. Now, let's start base building. Honestly, this is not going to be very exciting. This is a small little bob shack. I plan on having 8 walls, 4 angled pieces, and 4 sloped walls, and a door. And maybe we get some wooden beams for support. Let's do 4 of these. Right, now for the walls, I think what we'll do is we'll have nice big windows so that we can see when we're getting attacked. On either side. Also a lovely view of the lake here. We'll have a regular wall in the back for now. Hopefully that campfire is not too close to the wood. That might actually catch on fire. So let's... Yep, I knew it. How do I pick this up? No, my wooden pieces. No. Can I build a mallet? I need stone. Damn it. Oh no, this is gonna burn our entire house down. We need to hurry up and make this mallet. And that's a windstorm. There goes everything we built. Can I deconstruct you? Yes, deconstruct. Deconstruct. I can't seem to deconstruct it. Let me try and save whatever I can. It won't let me deconstruct it. Maybe if I do this? Alright. We're getting out of here. Well, that was another disaster. Did it also burn my wood piles? It did. That's rough. Where did my wood pile go? Oh, it went back as wood. That's unfortunate. Well, time to rebuild. And we have a new storm coming, so I want to do this relatively quickly. Move it far away from the campfire this time. Let's quickly put this up. Make 5 more walls. I hope we have enough to make 5 more walls. I think we do. We wasted a little bit of material, but I think we have enough. Not really. My exposure is already really bad. Let's get a doorway here. And then just walls all around. Does this count as shelter? I don't think so. I need to add the other pieces. Where are the roof pieces? Let's grab the door. Add the door. And we don't have enough wood. I wonder if I craft one piece and sit under it, will I still have exposure to this storm? Yep. All right. Back to our little hidey hole. There we go. And we're about to find out what a strong storm does to wooden structures. I'm worried. This is not starting off well. Well, the storm seems to be subsiding now, and I need to go back and get more wood. So, I'll see you guys in a second. Right, and we're back with hopefully enough wood to finish off our little bob shack. So we need 3 more roof pieces. Let me grab those first. And we have ourselves a shelter. Let's take a quick drink of water. And I think the next thing I need to do immediately is figure out a water purification system. We have some fish here. Maybe I can go bow fishing. That seemed to work. Excellent. That's a good source of food. Are there any more fish around? I need me some dinner. Doesn't look like there are, so let's put these on the fire and have ourselves some protein. And that'll be fried fish chunks. Perfect. We also have our wooden beams. Let's add those to the corners of our base. It's also really dark here. I could use a torch. Let's see. What would it take to make us a torch? It would take one of our skill points. Okay, before we do that, I need to make sure we can make a basic water purifier. So, let's go in here. What does it need? The basic rainwater purifier requires stone and charcoal, which we have. And the basic water purifier... I think we're going to do a basic water purifier and a basic rainwater purifier. So let's get these going. So I'll grab the stone, I'll grab the charcoal from the campfire, and we'll set these up so that we can start drinking some cleaner water. Here's my charcoal. Craft me one of these, and craft me one of these. Now, I believe this thing goes in the water, correct? Yes. So let's set it up as close as we can. There we go. And for the rainwater, let's set this one up by our campfire. And now will that passively... Nope, it requires charcoal to work as fuel. But obviously it's not raining right now, so that's not going to be a big difference. I see you, brother. I'm going to get to you in a second. Let me just put the charcoal in here. And that's going to start making me some clean water. Perfect. All right, let's go hunting. Ooh, I see a rabbit. Hello, rabbit. I got him. Is that a wolf? That is a wolf. We need to skin this rabbit very quickly. Grab all of this. And break the bones. That's what I've been told. Break. Oh, no. No, horse! You are not passive. Definitely not a passive creature. And wolf! Ooh, okay. That was a little spicier than I'm used to. And we have another wolf.
Nope.
Missed that one completely. Ow. All right, and they're dead. Oh my god. Let's clean up this mess quickly. This knife does... This knife barely does anything. It broke after 3 uses. Let's grab that arrow. The knife broke again. I can already tell you we need a much better knife than this. Alright, I think what I'm going to do now is craft a small wooden crate. Put some of the stuff away. We'll put this in here. And we will put away a lot of the stuff that's weighing us down. And then I will make a few more stacks of wood and stone and store them outside. So we have dysentery again. And we have the berries effects. Let's consume another one of these. Food contamination. The bacterial effects of spoiled food. Slowly drains health. Counter with antibiotics or waited out. Oh, did our fish spoil? Both our fish chunks spoiled. Oops. Well, I feel absolutely terrible. I feel extremely sick. I don't have a bedroll to sleep on to pass the night away. So, I'm going to do a little bit more fishing, a little bit more resource gathering, and I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, and we're back. It is 7:30 in the morning. I've had a horrible night. I just got over my illness, which is probably the reason why this is all I could farm throughout the night, because my stamina was absolutely atrocious. Definitely don't ever want to eat raw meat again. And I think we need to head out and grab some oxite because I'm running kind of low. And I might actually look into an oxidizer. And then once we have all the basic needs to survive, food, water, and oxygen, and a roof over our heads, we'll look into making a bedroll so that we can respawn if we die, and we can fall asleep and get a nice little bonus. When you sleep the night in Icarus, you get a well-rested bonus. I'm not sure what it actually does right now, but I'm hoping to find out by the end of the night, too. Okay, that should be good for now. Let's head back to base, see what all it takes to build this oxidizer, and then start working on a bedroll. Place that here. And we need to add 10 oxide in there, and it'll slowly start to fill up this balloon. And I think we can press to consume the oxygen. Oh yes, right above where it says durability 100%, you can see its capacity. All right, so I think today what I want to do is go out, get a little hunting going. I think I actually need a second storage container. Let's just put everything away so that we're going out with a nice, clean, empty inventory. I'm going to grab as many resources as we can during our hunt. Time to hunt. So I'm looking for anything I can kill and skin, really. Let me just grab a stone and repair this. anything we can kill for a little bit of fur, for a little bit of meat. I know we need fur for the bedroll. And we need food because we're starting to run out. So let's see if we can find some wildlife here. So I'm going to go exploring off into this direction a little bit, and I'll bring you guys back if I find anything interesting.
Inside of me, you better watch out if you ignite me's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me, and he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored, loves the blood and gore, always wanting more, feeding from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness, torn apart quick. You left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
What is this? Salt. Oh, that's probably used for like salting meat or preserving the meat. Which would be good because this stuff doesn't last long before it starts to spoil. Let's grab as much of this as we can as well. Oh, my item's broken. Right. Repair our pickaxe. I think you're just a rabbit. Yeah, you can run away with your one fur. Let me get back into base, put away what we have. See if we also have any fur. I'm not sure if there's actually any fur in any of these boxes. Oh, we have 7. Perfect. We can build our bedroll. So, let's craft that. We will place that in here. Oh, what a sad looking little bedroll. And then hold to set a spawn point. Perfect. We now have a place to sleep. We can sleep through the night. We've brought back a decent amount of resources. All right, and with our little Bob Shack starting to feel more and more like home, we need to decide what we're going to do next. Now, I am inclined to actually upgrade to a bone knife. I think that'll be really, really useful. I need a torch, definitely. And ideally a... Oh, this requires sulfur, and this requires stick and fiber. So we'll go with the normal torch for now. Oh, there's also fishing in this game. Interesting. And this is some of the medicine. These are some of the heal items, which we don't necessarily need for now. I think our best bet is actually to go for our bone knife. I think that's a valid upgrade. Maybe even the medium wood crates. Basic bandages, we will definitely need those. And I think we look into some armor. We crafted it. Where did it go? Ah, we put it on right away. Oh, would you look at that? There's a helmet, isn't there? Yes, there we go. And crafting, gotta protect that head. You'd think a space helmet is enough protection, but I guess it's not. Time to go hunting a little bit more. I spooked it. I suck. Let's keep heading in this direction and see what we can find. Now, I know that spelunking or cave diving is pretty big in Olympus. I remember the last time I played, I'd found a cave in a wall like this, and I had to sort of burrow my way into the wall. And then there was a lot of materials, much rarer materials than you find out in the normal world there. So I think that cave mining is going to be a real thing. We have yet to find... Well, would you look at that? We just found our first one. Why don't we take a look in here? I just like to craft a torch before we go in there, because it looks kind of dark. And then maybe we turn a light on. Now, I know that there are also worms. Yep, there we go. Alright. Killed our first cave worm. Is there another one? Yep. More often than not, there's two of them. Can we get you up? Yes, we killed it before it spat in our face. Is there a third one? Yep. That's a lot of worms for such a small cave. Is there a fourth one? No, it seems that's all there was. Alright, what do they drop? Poison sac, worm scale, and my arrows. Alright, let's grab all that stuff. Grab all this stuff. Now, what sort of resources do we have in here? Iron. More iron. I think iron's the first... or the first basic metal you need. Copper. What's this? Looks different. Aluminium. Well, I'm going to try and grab platinum. I'm going to try and grab all of this stuff. Let's start right at the front and work our way back. I wonder if a better pickaxe would gather more material and be more efficient. Sort of like Ark Survival Evolved. Where, you know, metal tools gave you more of the same resource. Oh, I'm also level 6. Okay. Grab some more. Okay. Grab this node as well. Even if we get encumbered, I think I am willing to walk back very slowly with as much of this stuff as I can. What is this? Cave sickness. Severe infection of the lungs. Slows health and stamina regen. Counter with antibiotics or wait it out. Okay. So, apparently... Oh my god, look up my stam. Alright, so we got some of the copper. Can we grab... No, we can't grab the platinum. Interesting. Alright, let's grab the iron. I'm pretty sure iron is the first tier of metal weapons that we can get, right? Oh, it looks like it's actually in tier 2. An anvil, which requires an iron ingot. There you go. Iron pickaxe. Iron axe. Alright, so let's grab as much of this as we can. I am sure that we're going to be mining iron for hours and hours and hours on end in this playthrough. This cave sickness is honestly a little bit of a bitch. Well, this is going to take me ages. I'll bring you guys back once I've cleared out as much of this cave as I can, considering my weight issues and my stamina issues. Alright, so I think I've picked up as much of this as I can, considering how terrible my stamina is right now. And the fact that I cannot run, I'd be a sitting duck if anything attacked me at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave with what I got. I got about 80 iron, 40 copper ore, and we cleared out the worms. And what I'm going to do, or what I like to do, is mark the entrances so that I know that I've been to these caves. And what I'll do here, I think, is I'll just put one beam up here. And that'll tell me that I've been to this cave, but it's not finished. Once I actually finish the cave, because I know that the resources don't spawn, then I'll just block it off so that I don't keep coming back to the same cave. And in the meantime, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put a marker right at the entrance here, so that we can come back to this cave and finish it off. But if you see how slow I'm moving right now, this is going to be a while before we get back. So on that note, I'll see you guys back at my base. Alright guys, and as you can see, my stamina struggles continue. It has been a difficult or long journey back. We didn't really get into any... Nobody really attacked us. Nothing really happened to us, but that was probably one of the most boring journeys I've had in the game so far. But let's take a look at the tech tree and see what comes next. I'm assuming that this iron needs to be smelted somehow. There's going to be a furnace or a forge of some kind. Maybe it's in tier 2? Yeah, a stone furnace. Alright, so we need to be level 10. We're only level 6. So we jumped ahead a little bit by mining all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure it won't go to waste. Once it's time for us to smelt iron, we'll have a little bit of iron to get us started. Since it hasn't rained, there's no water in here. I'm curious to see what happens when it actually does rain. Alright, and do we have anything else we would like in the skill tree at the moment, or that we need in the skill tree at the moment? I think we need to turn off our torch. That's a start. We do have a storm incoming, and it's heading towards nighttime. Alright, let's close this door. Let's see if we can survive this storm this time. I'm gonna get my mallet out. I already have it. Alright, let me consume this, and consume this. And now we wait. Okay, it's not too bad. I mean, it also was probably like a category 1 or 2 storm. It wasn't exactly a big one. We've yet to experience any thunderstorms or massive hurricanes, which I honestly doubt that our little wooden shack would survive. Definitely looks like we will need to upgrade to stone if we want to stop worrying about having to constantly fix our base and be around our base during the storms. Little rainstorm, that'll give us some water in our water collector. Have we run out of oxide? Yes, we have. So, I think that's the last thing I'll do for the night. I'll go out and I'll grab some oxide, although I don't think we necessarily need any. We should be fine. Oh, but we are losing oxygen like this. So let me grab... I can't see anything out here. Some more food. Some cooked meat. And some grilled pumpkin. I will consume one of each. And we will head out very quickly to the side of the cliff here and see if we can find any oxide to put in our oxidizer before we call it a night. There should be a few nodes up here. Perfect. Let's put a stack of that in there. Perfect. And we'll head back to base and call it a night. let me place 10 of it in there, and we have a full liter of oxygen. Perfect. Now, I cannot sleep because... Is it the wrong time? Oh, it's 7 in the morning. Damn it. We didn't sleep. Well. Either way, I think this is a good ending point for episode 1. And we've survived night 2, and we've still had no sleep. This poor guy. Well, anyway, this is where I'm going to call it for today. If you enjoyed episode 1, hit that like button and subscribe to continue watching our journey together. I'm having a lot of fun on Icarus, and I can't wait to continue playing this game. Until next time, take it easy, everybody.